One of my favorite things about RPG hero collectors is breaking down kits and thinking about different strategies, or what makes champions strong or weak versus different lineup. Maybe you have a champion who is super fast, but his team is more effective whenever they take fewer turns, so you need to kind of plan around that. Or maybe you have a champion who is immune to poison, but he takes double damage from bleeds. I've become fairly well known in my little community for doing what I call whaler skit videos on various champions in the games I play. And today I want to do a special speed run for you. Usually in my whaler skit videos, I focus on one champion at a time. But Ezio Auditore and 4 other iconic assassins from the Assassin's Creed franchise are joining Raid Shadow Legends as legendary champions. And right now, for a limited time, you can obtain your own copy of Ezio just by downloading the game and logging in for 7 days. This is a limited time event, so make sure you download the game today through the link in the description or the QR code that's on screen now. Using my link will get you the legendary Corrado Fox Hunter immediately, and you'll get the epic champion Ina once you hit level 15. On top of that, you'll also be able to choose one of 6 legendaries using the promo codes at the end of this video. And now let's get into those kit reviews. Here's my copy of Ezio, and we already talked about Ezio in my last video, but he's a master assassin and he's part of the Sacred Order faction. He has an aura that is going to increase ally speed, which is always good in these types of games, and he can place poisons and bombs on his enemies. He's also going to be able to steal buffs from his enemies too. You're going to be getting Ezio for free, so I don't really have to tell you to whale or skip on this champion, but I definitely think he's a pretty solid champion for a lot of game modes, and he's exactly what people should be getting in crossover events like this. I think he's a pretty solid champion to pick up. You can see that I've been working on Ascension for Ezio, and we're hopefully going to be taking a look at Ezio and some of the other champions in my roster whenever I make a PvP video in the coming weeks. You'll see that I have Sun Wukong here. I talked about him in my last video. Really a big fan of Sun Wukong in this game. If we go into the champion index and go over to Bannerlords, if you can manage to pull Edward Kenway, there's pretty much nothing he's not capable of doing. His basic ability is Privateer Blitz, and this ability is going to have a chance to decrease enemy turn meter. We love decreasing enemy turn meter and increasing ours. Fan of the Hammer is a devastating AoE. It's going to steal all buffs from all enemies, and it's also going to decrease their turn meter and can inflict sleep as well. And finally, Between the Eyes is going to put a veil on all assassins in your squad. So if you're running a full squad of Assassin's Creed champions, which is going to be difficult, by the way, to pull all of them, it's going to be pretty crazy. Between the Eyes also prevents the target enemy from being revived, and I think that's pretty important as well. Overall, Edward Kenway's turn meter manipulation is unmatched, and I think he's the real chase of this event, so this one definitely gets the whale stamp of approval. Moving on to the Barbarian faction, we've got Bayek. Seems like he's going to be pretty proficient against clan bosses like Chimera and Hydra, and he's also going to do well in campaign battles and probably an arena as well. Khopesh Strike. Khopesh Strike is going to increase Bayek's turn meter and place a leech debuff on the enemy, and that's going to help your team members heal up whenever they hit the enemies. Desert Zephyr is an AoE that will also decrease enemy accuracy and resistance. And then Prayer of the Medjay is going to increase your team's accuracy and defense and place Perfect Veil on all allies except for Bayek. Definitely don't sleep on Bayek if you're able to pull him. Moving back over to the Sacred Order faction, we have Basim, and he does share that faction tag with Ezio. Now Basim does look to be best in arena, but seems that he does have some proficiency with Hydra and in the campaign. His Dagger Swirl ability has a chance to spread debuffs to all enemies. I think that one's going to be super strong no matter what game mode that you're playing in. Up in Smoke is an AoE damage attack that can also block active skills and force enemies to only use their basic attack, another really strong skill to prevent your enemy from doing a lot of damage to you. And then Winds of Baghdad is a single target damage attack. it's going to do more damage the more buffs and debuffs on Basim and the target enemy. So really interesting mechanic here, one that I haven't seen a lot in these games, so really curious to see how this one works in practice. And then we've got our first Argonite champion, and that's going to be Cassandra. Unfortunately, Cassandra seems to be the weakest of the Assassin's Creed crossover champions. If you do pull her, I think she will be worth using to probably clear some campaign nodes. If you want to invest in her, probably shouldn't though. I think the issue is that she's limited by there not being a bunch of other Argonite champions that you could pair her with. So it's kind of like a, I'm not sure if it's a whale yet, but you know, it's just going to be a wait and see. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the Argonites faction is built over time. But let's go ahead and look at Cassandra's kit. So West Wind Rush is going to decrease enemy turn meter and increase Cassandra's turn meter. And it's going to work best when the enemy has 50% or less HP. So be on the lookout for that. Spear of Leonidas is going to decrease enemy defense and place an HP burn debuff on the target. There's also a very low chance of stunning the enemy that works better on super weak enemies. So again, clearing some of those campaign nodes might be a little bit better use for that. Definitely in high-end arena and some of the clan bosses and things like that, probably not going to be as effective unless you're going against like summon champions and things like that. And then Isu's Blessing removes debuffs from Cassandra, heals her, and gives her 50% turn meter. It's also going to give her increased attack and speed. As long as she has those buffs, she will not be able to die. And I think that's like probably the saving grace for the kit, is basically it's going to be very difficult to kill her unless you can remove those debuffs. So Isu's Blessing, definitely the one thing that I'm driving a point into, and I'm curious how other champions will be able to kind of like play around that for you. And we got a bit of a bonus champion here, so we're going to talk about a Knights Revenant champion, which is Pontiff Augustine. And Pontiff Augustine is the event champion. You're going to be fighting him in the event dungeon, but you'll also have a chance to pull him, and there is actually an event active right now where you can get your hands on Pontiff Augustine. With his Edenic Blades ability, he can block your team's active skills and steal turn meter for each buff that you have. With his Edenic Blades ability, he can block enemies' active skills and steal turn meter for each buff that they have. Shackle the Unjust is going to remove all buffs from all enemies and ensnare those enemies and decrease their turn meter. And then Ethereal Benediction is going to increase all allies' accuracy, give them intercept, which is going to block crowd control effects, and then grant 25% turn meter, and then each ally is going to be able to take an extra turn. So this is a super strong ability, definitely one of those that's up there with like the kit for Edward Kenway. I'm definitely curious to see what kind of teams people are going to build with Pontiff Augustine. Now the event dungeon fight will definitely try your patience at the higher levels, but I like the kit design for Augustine and how it punishes buffs. One thing I really enjoy about these assassin champions is their interaction with the perfect veil buff and how it can supercharge their abilities. Obviously, most players will be lucky just to get even one of these legendaries to go with their Ezio, but I do think that they have a lot of synergy as a unit. Overall, if you wanted me to pick just one of these that I wish I had on my roster, it's definitely Edward Kenway without a doubt. Remember that you'll be able to get Ezio for free, but you'll have to really work for the other champions, as you have to earn them through dedicated events, tournaments, and summon boosts. Don't forget to click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to get access to some amazing bonuses that are only going to be available through my link. Right now, you're going to get 3 legendary champions and 1 epic. You'll instantly unlock a huge starter pack with legendary Corrado Fox Hunter from the Shadowkin faction. Once you hit level 15, you'll get Aina, an epic champion from the Barbarian faction. Logging in for 7 days will allow you to claim the free legendary Ezio from Assassin's Creed. And finally, new players can pick one of 6 promo codes for a free legendary champion. You can choose Green Warden Ruark using promo code Treehugger, Alice the Wanderer using promo code GetAlice, Cheshire Cat using the promo code KittyCut, Sun Wukong using promo code Monkey King, Ultimate Death Knight using promo code UD King, or Razzlevarg using promo code GOFAST. Personally, I said this in my last video, but I recommend that you go for Sun Wukong because of his capabilities in Arena. But another champion that I definitely wish I had my hands on is going to be Green Warden Ruart. Now these champions are available only using the custom link in my description or by scanning the QR code. And you only have 48 hours from the point you download the game to use that code. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You'll get access to notifications anytime I put out new videos on games that I love to play. Otherwise, I still hope to see you in the next video.